Hey guys, Igor Hernandez here. I'm one of the attorneys at Cornish, Hernandez and Gonzalez, where I practice injury law and first-party homeowner property claims. And today I want to talk to you about a bill, a potential law that's making its way through the Florida Senate that has the potential to change how we do injury claims in Florida. And here's what I mean by that. So there's a bill in the Senate, which is Senate Bill 846 by Senator Brandes, that's now making its way through the Senate, and it's moving pretty fast. And what it seeks to do is it seeks to allow the defense, the insurance companies, to let the jury know basically that the injured party has health insurance. And let me break that down for a second. So what usually happens is the jury, as of now, does not learn whether the defendant has insurance that's going to cover the verdict, or whether the plaintiff, meaning the claimant, has any sort of insurance that will contribute to the plaintiff's losses. So let's say we get into a car accident. Let's say I am suing somebody on your behalf. Let's say we go to trial. The jury's going to see, James Brown versus Joe Blow. The jury doesn't get to know that Joe Blow has an insurance policy of $250,000 with Allstate that will cover the verdict if the jury were to award a verdict on behalf of the plaintiff. Likewise, the jury does not get to hear that the plaintiff, the person bringing the lawsuit, has health insurance that has paid for part of the claim or that may be able to pay for part of the claim. So why is that important? Well, what happens is the law for the last 200 years has been that the jurors should not learn about insurance because it's going to affect their verdict. So if the jury knows that the defendant has an insurance policy that's going to cover the verdict, the jury is less likely to care about the actual facts of the case, because at the end of the day, they may say, look, that this person's injured. The defendant has an insurance policy. That's why we have insurance. Let's find on behalf of the plaintiff. Let's find on behalf of the injured party, and the insurance company will cover it. Who cares? So that's the theory, that the jury will do that if it knows that the defendant has insurance. And so in Florida, for the last 200 years, the jury is not allowed to be told that the defendant has an insurance policy for a good reason, right? And so it's as critical to the effect that even if it comes out during trial, it's usually going to get mistried, meaning you're going to have to do it all over again. You cannot try that case if the jury hears that the defendant has insurance, right? Well, on the plaintiff side, on the side of the injured person, it's the same thing. If the jury hears, they have health insurance, they may think, then let's not award future treatment because he has health insurance. That's why we got insurance for. The insurance is going to cover that. Now, obviously, there's a big problem with that, which, number one, there's no guarantee that the injured person is still going to have insurance in the future. Number two, there's no guarantee that insurance as we know it for healthcare is going to exist in this way in the future. And number three is basically offloading onto the injured party all the risks associated with maintaining that insurance coverage and making sure that it is in fact still valid and still as good in 10 years as it is today. Which doesn't make any sense, because if you think about it, the injured person is in court because they got injured as a result of somebody else's negligence. So they didn't want to be in court. They were forced to go to court because the injured party, or rather the party doing the injuring, the defendant, hurt them. So there should be no risk whatsoever offloaded onto the claimant in cases like this. But anyway, long story short, Senator Brandes' bill intends to have it so that now the defendant can tell the jury that the plaintiff has health insurance, how much that health insurance usually pays, how much the jury should pay for the medical treatment based on how much that insurance usually and customarily pays, and based on what it is likely to pay in the future, offloading onto the claimant all the risks associated with that. But here's the kicker. Somebody proposed an amendment saying, okay, well, if we're going to tell the jury what the plaintiff's insurance is and that the plaintiff has insurance, let's tell the jury that the defendant also has an insurance policy that could cover the medical bills. And that amendment was shut down immediately by the people pushing this bill, saying, hold on, wait a second, we don't want that. We don't want the jury to know that the defendant has insurance that could cover the medical bills. And so you got to wonder why that's going on. And it's a creature of what we call tort reform. And tort reform is it's a whole thing that I don't really have the time to explain it all in this one video, but I'm probably going to make a video on it so that you guys know more or less what that's about. But anyway, so this bill is pretty terrible, and it's one of multiple bills that are pretty terrible that have been making their way through the Senate over the last, month and a half or two. And the legislature hasn't even started session yet. Or rather, they did start the session, but it was 10 days ago or whatever. But they've been moving bills through the pre-committee weeks and all that stuff well since before then. So it's going to be interesting. It looks like that's a campaign that's in place and in effect to definitely affect the rights of injured people in the state of Florida, to benefit insurance companies, to make sure that insurance companies can make billions and billions and billions of additional profits, so that they can, lobby and pay these politicians to then pass more laws to affect the people who are injured in the state of Florida. And so that's the sad state of affairs. I just want to bring you up to speed on that. It's a lot of this stuff is buried, and a lot of people who are not in the arena of injury law may not know about it. And so I just wanted to bring that up to your attention. Hope that you get informed on it and do anything you can to see if we can stop this thing. Just because little by little, injured people in Florida are losing their rights, and it's only a matter of time before the slippery slope ends in a place where you get injured by somebody and you don't really have the ability to fight back, and you just got to take whatever the insurance company wants to give you, which is always going to be less than what you actually are entitled to. But anyway, guys, that is it for now, and I will catch you again next time.